how to blossom anyhow. Do I have a blossomer in the house who will testify? I know I'm in church, but I come from the gutter. I know I'm in church, but I've had some gutter days. But God was so good that gutter didn't have the last word on me. God used the gutter for me to blossom. So how does it work? Let's look at it. The text says to begin with, and this shouts me right here. He says that God comes along and God says, all right, here's what you do. Write the vision. Make it plain so that someone running can see it and carry it so people far and near can grab hold of this vision. What am I trying to say? God is so amazing that God is good enough in the midst of our nightmare to birth a vision of new possibilities. I got to give it to you like this. In a nightmare that is problematic, God will birth a vision of new possibilities. That's what vision does. A vision sees into what's problematic and somehow births something possible that would not have happened had it not been for what was problematic. God says the problematic nightmare doesn't have the last word on you, and that's why people really jack with me whenever they take Martin King's I Have a Dream out of context, because as Michael Eric Dyson says, before he got to I Have a Dream, he narrated the American nightmare. It's a nightmare that we've received a blank check of we've received a check that came back marked insufficient funds when it comes to justice and freedom. That's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, Dr. King said, that the Negro in the South cannot vote and the Negro up north doesn't have anything to vote for. It's a nightmare, Dr. King said, when you experience police brutality, economic injustice, and criminal injustice. All of that is in the speech, but we never hear that part because we like to rush to the dream, but you can't really enjoy the dream unless you know about the nightmare. And the fact that he could dream in the midst of a nightmare is a testimony of the faith of a people who have said, whenever we've been hit by a nightmare, we dare to dream anyhow. I ain't coming through, am I? But that's exactly what happens in the text. The text says, God said, you write the vision. It's the vision of justice in spite of injustice. It's a vision, watch this, a vision of what's gonna be in spite of what is. It's a big vision. It's a vision that is too big for you to do by yourself. And that's when you know you have a dream or a vision that is God-sized. And that is, you can't, but you know God can. And that means you've got to do what you can and then trust God to handle what you can't. And I hope and pray as you're moving into 2019 that somebody says, Pastor, in honor of our ancestors who would narrate the nightmare but still dare to dream, I'm going to go ahead and ask God, God, give me a God-sized dream. Give me a God-sized vision that's big